My name is Emeka, and I am no longer an addict to porn. So today we're going to be talking about my testimony. I'm going to be sharing with you how I first came in contact with explicit content and sexual material that really changed the trajectory of my consciousness. First of all, welcome to the channel. This channel is for people who are deep in the struggles of pornography and masturbation. This channel is for those people who are finding it difficult to break free. Deep down, they know within themselves that this is something I want to be rid of. This is something I want to gain complete freedom from. If you are that person, this channel is for you, and I hope this journey we can go on it together and continue to grow from strength to strength until we can proudly say that this part of my life no longer has control over me. Well, today I'm going to be talking about how it all started. Yes. The earliest memory I have is, I remember being in an examination hall. I think I was 15 or so in GSS 3, being in an examination hall, and I felt anxious about the fact that I hadn't written as much as I wanted to, and it was getting towards the end of the exam, so there was this tension building inside of me. I began to feel a sense of heightened anxiety, and this sort of translated into it just coursed through my whole body. I began to feel a sensation course through my body and really registered my groin. By the time the exam was over, even though I had tried to write down as much as I could, that heightened sense of pleasure that coursed through me, I later found out that the end result of it was an orgasm. When I came out of the examination hall, I looked in my pants, and to my utmost surprise, I saw semen all over me. And I recalled how it felt back in the exam room where I had experienced that sensation. It felt quite intense. So that sort of registered in my mind. And from then on, I didn't really take much thought to it. But although it registered in my mind, but I just didn't really pay much attention to it. But I knew what happened to me. I had just reached orgasm. I didn't have sex. I didn't involve in any form of intimacy, physical intimacy. No, it just came. And that was a surprise to me, but I just registered it at the back of my mind and I forgot about it. And then afterwards, maybe a few years later, when I was 18 or so, I happened on explicit content. Now, how did this happen? I walked into my neighbor's room, my friend's room, and so I just decided to turn on the TV and the CD. And when I did, behold, what came on was the image of two people having sex. That was me seeing such a thing for the first time. And in my mind, that very moment, seeing those visuals really changed it really had an effect on me. Nobody sees that and remains the same. So I watched for a few more minutes before I left, and after that it never was the same again, because I wanted to watch it, I wanted to see. And then the event brought my mind back to what happened a few years ago with me having an orgasm while writing an examination. So the two see the two scenarios. I put two and two together, and I thought to myself, if this is what happens, because I had seen those two people have sex and then orgasm at the end, I thought to myself, if this action takes place, then this is the result of such an action, like a cause and effect kind of thing. So it registered in my mind, and from then on everything changed. When I realized that I could attain pleasure from watching people, when I realized that I could attain sexual pleasure and orgasm from doing it myself, everything changed, and I began to act on this, and it became a habit. From a habit, it became a lifestyle. Being an introvert, I always like to be by myself. So when I'm not writing, when I'm not reading, I like to watch movies and stuff. So when I find myself bored, that is the time when I get the urge to make myself reach that orgasm, to get that pleasure. And that became my lifestyle, pretty much. But as time went on, I began to realize that, hey, this isn't exactly right. Being a reader, I stumbled upon material that talked about how to keep yourself, like Napoleon Hill's book about the sexual energy and how we can retain our semen and be better humans and be superhumans and really find that genius inside of us. So I began reading those books, and something started to change inside of me. I started to feel like this is not the path I want to be on. This is not something I want to give myself to. This is not something that I want to gain control over me. And that was where my struggle really started, because in knowing the enemy, I began to understand, began to find a way to defeat the enemy. And that battle hasn't been an easy one. So I've been trying, struggling, doing everything depending on self-will, depending on my strength to be able to overcome the addiction. But I haven't been able to do so all these years, up until when I decided to let God take control. Up until when I decided to just, hey, I'm going to let God do this for me. I'm not going to depend on my will. I'm not going to depend on my strength anymore. I'm not going to say, let me go 2 weeks and then see what happens. No. I'm going to say, let me go 2 weeks and then spend time with God. Really do things that uplift my mind, uplift my spirit. Do things that keep my mind occupied. Because it is, when you make this your strategy, then you find out while you are using self-will and waiting for the urge to come so that you can fight it off, you find out that with the spirit, focusing on spirit things, focusing on mental development, focusing on how you can grow yourself, how you can do the hard stuff, you find that when that urge comes, you are too occupied to even give it any attention. You are too occupied to even try to engage it. So when it comes, you find that you already have the strength to fend it off, and that is the advantage of giving yourself wholly to the Spirit so that He can give you the strength. And yeah, I understand that some people who might be watching this video are really keen on trying to fight off their addiction by studying the Bible or reading or doing church stuff, but that is the fastest way that I believe you can be rid of whatever addiction that plagues you, especially porn and masturbation. That is the quickest, the easiest, the most feasible way that I know you can be rid of it, because I have seen it. I know what I'm talking about, so I am telling you from experience that is very much the best way. And if you decide to rely on your self-will, kudos to you. But you find that when that urge comes back, it takes all the strength inside of you to be able. And most times, you find yourself falling and you find yourself going back to that cycle of disappointment. So it's best to just give in to the Holy Spirit. Now, I'm not saying that once you give in to the Holy Spirit, it goes away automatically. No. I'm saying once you give in to the Holy Spirit, it gives you the strength. It gives you the ability to fill your mind so that your mind is occupied when peradventure that urge comes. And once that urge comes and it finds your mind occupied, it just passes. It doesn't stir inside of you. It doesn't trouble your heart. No. It comes into your heart and then it just passes off. It just goes away like that. So that is why I believe that it is best to give yourself to the Holy Spirit and let Him help you fight the addiction. So yeah, that is my point of view, and I hope you find this video helpful. So there will be many more videos that I'll be posting to help you go on this journey, because I love for us to go on it together, because there is strength in numbers. And so yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week wherever you are, and God bless you.